Hello, everybody. How are you guys today? Oh my goodness. Already people are trying to match with me. I don't want to do a match. That was a bad idea the very first night I ever did that. Live at work. What do you do for a job, Sarah Beth, if you don't want me asking? Pretending to work. That's funny. Nice. I have a friend who runs her own cleaning business. It's very lucrative for her. Jay, what do you do for work? Ooh, a deep moving clean. Those are not fun. I used to help. My dad used to be a property manager, and I would have to go and clean places after people moved out, and some people were just straight up nasty. I'm like, how do you live like this? How? Shareholder rep. Oh, that's cool. I am photo editing. I was going to go live at 2, but I not going to lie, I was kind of lazy about getting my chores started, and I had to do dishes and check on my laundry in the dryer. TikTok does, yeah. That's honestly, I think I like going live now because, like, I feel like I'm not just sitting there, like, just editing photos. Like, I mean, I watch things on TV while I'm editing just to have background noise, but it's just nice to not have, it's just nice to have, like, interaction from people, even if I can't see your beautiful faces. Ooh, a holiday in Croatia. Pack me in your bags and take me with you. I think the last time we went on any kind of real getaway, well, I had to go to New Hampshire in June to photograph a wedding, but I didn't consider that a vacation because it was very quick. Spent most of my time driving, and my mom went with me, and that was an enjoyable, you know, except for the fact, you know, our moms drive us crazy sometimes, but and then so for me that was a work trip, so I didn't really count that as a getaway. But I think the last time me and my kids went anywhere, we went, if I'm not mistaken, we went to Disney with the marching band. Is that where we went? No, we went to Myrtle Beach with the softball team when my daughter was a senior. So we haven't really been. So someone just said hello from Spain, it looks like. Oh my gosh, yes. I was talking to someone about about waiting for the other shoe to drop. I just feel like this foreboding. And I don't know if it's a good foreboding or a bad foreboding, but like last night, when I was editing photos, I got this sense of impending whatever. And I was talking to one of my friends that I've made through this fandom, and she said she actually brought it up, and I'm like, yes, I feel that way too. Like, I just feel like something's about to happen. I can't decide if it's a good feeling or a bad feeling, but it's just in my gut. Like, we're all waiting for it. We're just waiting for it. And like, we just know it's about to happen. And I don't know if it's good or if it's bad or if it's gonna be relieving or what, but it's one of those moments where I'm just like, can we get to it? Because like, I know we're all feeling it, you know, like we're all waiting for it. Me too. This morning, like, I got up and the first thing I literally have been opening my social media multiple times, almost obsessively, because I feel like it's coming and that we just have to, like, I'm hoping it's something good too. Me too. Like, I want to see, because I have a feeling that whatever it is, it's gonna send us all into a tailspin. And it could be, oh, she did? When? I literally checked it like an hour ago. When did she post? Was it Instagram? Oh, she did! Neil Young Beauty. Somewhere in the Bridgerton Netflix press tour with the... Oh, she was resharing Neil Young. Look at her supporting Neil Young. I love her. She's so supportive. Tiffany Red posted too. And she goes, Tiffany says, September when Luke is back on set and reads about what Colin does to Penn in the new intimacy scenes. She is always... Nicola is just a stunner. She just... Oh my goodness. But do you guys notice, like, I feel like, you know, Antonia's not been posting very much. At all. Like, she's not posted at all. And I just feel like Nicola's been posting more. And I feel like it's like a... I feel like it's, she's got the heavy weight I felt coming from her. Like, the heavy weight of hurt, which people disagree with me that no, she wasn't hurt, that she was just, you know, being the powerhouse she is. No, I felt hurt from her. I felt something deep and heavy from her. But I feel lightness now from her. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Oh, I can actually read this in Spanish. It says, I'll be back in a... she says, I have to leave in a minute. Classes, like, she's a professor in classes. She has classes. And she's from Chile. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, my goodness, that's so cool. 2020, the 22nd of August is the Edinburgh TV Awards. She's nominated for Big Mood. Yes, that's what I'm saying, Jay. Like, I feel like... did you see that she and Luke are going up against each other for that one award? But yes, I feel like there's a different energy coming from her now. Like, before it was like a deep, heavy energy, and now I just feel like it's a lighthearted energy. Like, yes, A is quiet, Rory and Sienna are quiet. Someone said that Luke is traveling again. There was a video that was trickling around X where it looked like some guy that looks like Luke in Italy, but if you watch my video from last night about the person on X who's coming down on the fandom, she's the one who shared it. Like, you're gonna come down on us for trying to figure out her Scrabble board and her t-shirt thing, but then you're gonna post that someone thinks her Scrabble board and her t-shirt thing, but then you're gonna post that someone thinks they saw Luke in Italy. Like, are you defending the fandom or are you coming against the fandom? Because, and then she goes, well, I don't want anyone to know where his location is in real time. And I'm like, then why did you share that? Like, why? Because if he is in Italy right now, the question is, some people said, well, why is he in Italy? Well, why is he not? Like, if he has money and he wants to travel, let him travel. Let him enjoy his life. If he doesn't want to work right now and he feels that income-wise he is fine with Bridgerton's income and the voiceover he did for the animated film, if he feels... Exactly, he may be in Italy for work. We don't know if he's modeling for a company that's based in Italy. We don't know if he's got a job that's centered in Italy, because he did say he tried out for something that was, he auditioned for something that was a rom-com and he couldn't really talk about it. So, like, there are rules in the industry that if there is something that, if it's not been acknowledged that it's in production, they cannot talk about it. And so, like, there are rules in the industry. I don't think it was him in those pictures either. The hair was not right. Like, he was growing his hair out for Bridgerton, and the haircut was the same haircut he had for the press tour, where it was, like, shaved kind of into a bit of a mullet. And so he wouldn't have done that, especially with Bridgerton coming up, because then that would have forced him to wear the wigs. So he is definitely growing his hair out for Bridgerton. Hi, Kaylee. Someone shared a video. Hey, someone shared a video of a guy that looks like Luke, but we don't know he's in Italy. It just looked like him, and it was actually the same ex-user who was coming out in the fandom about the Scrapplegate and the T-shirt. I just feel like if he is traveling, like, number one, it's none of our business. Number two, let the guy travel. Like I said, if he feels that he is doing fine income-wise with what Bridgerton has paid him and any royalties he gets off of his... I'm going to move this just a little bit because that window glare is... Nope, it's not going to work. Okay. Oh, maybe not. Maybe. I don't think it's him either. Because the haircut's off. Because he was growing his hair out for Bridgerton. So, and the guy in that photo had, like, the shaving for the mullet right through here. So, I don't think it's him. I do find it odd that they're all silent. But then again, they were silent for a while. They were actually silent for a while before they went to Sorrento. So... some of y'all are making comments that TikTok has decided to filter. But yeah, I don't think it's him. And even if he is traveling, like, let the guy travel. If he feels that the money he's made is supporting him and paying his bills, is it really our business if he's traveling? We would love to see him take on more projects, obviously, because he's a stellar actor. Like, he can really bring it when he acts. Like, I've seen different clips from The Shape of Things, and he's really good. Like, because seeing him in a different character setting than Bridgerton, I was like, wow, this guy he knows what he's doing. See, that's what we were talking about, is that we're all feeling a little on edge, like something's about to drop. It could be good. It could be bad. We don't know. So we're all kind of sitting here just waiting, wondering. But yeah, we're all just sitting here like, see, if he's, okay, so if he's in the Balkans, like, it is like New Year's without the countdown. Oh, that's so funny. I think it's harder on us, too, because, like, we don't have a right to be in their lives, like, deeply personal in their lives. So I feel like it is harder for us because we want so much to be in the know, but, like, there's only so much that we are really personally allowed to know, and that's what they choose to give us. All signs are pointing to good, Carmen. I agree, because Nicola's energy is different. We were talking about that, you know, she's a more lighthearted in her posts. She is, I don't feel the heaviness from her that I was getting before. Megan said something, I missed it. Fluke Houston. Oh, that was funny, Megan. Someone said the Magic Faraway Tree goes to September. I looked up where the location is that they're filming, but I didn't look up how long it's supposed to film for. X is playing Where's Luke? Too bad he's not wearing a striped shirt. But yeah, it's I swear, my dogs, I feel like they feel like it's a game to get up on my bed and then jump off as hard as they can. And I'm going to be eating, guys, so if you have misophonia, I'm sorry. But I'm eating a toaster strudel. I'll try to eat off screen, though. What do y'all think of what's going around on X right now about the people coming down on the fandom for Scrapplegate and T-shirt gate. How do y'all feel about that? I think, okay, so last night, or yesterday, when I saw someone post that, you know, like in one of my other lives, I mentioned The Wedding Planner is one of my favorite movies because J-Lo plays a character named Mary who plans weddings. Well, I do wedding photography, and my name's Mary, and I really resonated with her character in the movie. But she plays Scrabble in that movie, her character does. And then someone posted a video of one of the scenes from that movie where her character was playing Scrabble. And I'm like, wait a second, J-Lo, Scrabble, movie. Like, I mean, now like I said, I want to go get a copy of The Happy Place and see if there's words that are in there that match the Scrabble board. I hate politics. I will not talk politics. If you try to talk politics with me, you know what's going to happen. Bye. I cannot do it. I can't do it. Scrabble. I'd much rather talk Scrapplegate than politics. I actually would rather go through delivering my last child than talk politics, because that was 20 and a half hours of labor with only 30 minutes of pain relief. So politics are just not it for me. You know, and the reality is you're going to vote for who you vote for, but whoever's going to win is going to win. And you just have to go with it, because we have a little bit of a voice, but we don't have a big enough voice, is what the reality is. Dead fish in the water. When I saw that comment, I was like, the dead fish in the water just, yeah. You know, and that's what I'm saying too, like going back, I feel like we're allowed to have fun because life is too serious. Like, we have too much going on in our personal lives. Like, me personally, and this is going to be kind of transparent, so if you guys don't like a little bit of heavy stuff, I apologize, because I do have people in my life who tell me that I shouldn't be so transparent. But as a single parent, yes, my kid's dad is involved. I'm not solo parenting, but I am single and I am a parent. And I do get some child support every month. But being by myself, being single, being responsible for everything, knowing I'm the only income earner in this house, when bad things happen financially, it rocks me. Like, for instance, back in June, my transmission went out in my car and set me back on finances. And then, you know, this past week, you know, my boss at the hotel let me go. And I was sitting here like, okay, I've got the chance to, with this job at the hotel, with subbing starting again. Hi, Mocha. Mocha always has to be in the live. With this, you know, with subbing starting again, I was like, and with my photography business, I'm like, great, I can get caught up by the end of the month, no big deal. And now I'm like, what am I going to do? And so this gives me an escape from always having to think about that. And I feel like if people don't like it, they can scroll. Like, I already have enough heavy stuff going on in my life. I already wonder if I'm going to be single forever and figuring it out on my own forever. That I don't need someone coming down on me because I happen to notice two people who are in love who are too dumb to see it, or maybe they can see it. I shouldn't say they're dumb. They're not dumb. But blind. They're blind to how much they love each other. Or maybe they do know. And maybe, like we've said before, maybe they've had conversations. We just don't know what conversations they've had. And, you know, it's like, let me just have it. Let me just have this moment. Let me believe in the fairy tale, explore the fairy tale. And because to me, it's a real life fairy tale playing out. Oh, they're scared. You're right, Jay. They're 100% scared. I think you're right. Now, is it Natalia? Or if you are friends first, it's scary because you're worried about losing that friendship. My daughter, for instance, my senior, she has this guy friend. They've been friends since 2nd grade. Well, this past Christmas, close to Christmas, this past December, on her birthday, he asked her out. They dated for 8 months exactly, but they were starting to fight all the time, and it was weighing on her. So sadly, on their 8-month anniversary, she decided that they needed to not be together, and it's devastated both of them. But they're still friends. It's hard because when you are best friends, you worry about losing that friendship, and that was one of the biggest things she was afraid of. She's like, Mama, I love having him in my life. He's been my friend since 2nd grade. He became my best friend in now I'm worried I'm losing my best friend. And I said, I don't think that's going to happen, because if you're truly friends first, then if you date and it doesn't work out, you'll stay friends. You'll still stay friends. I think it's a little bit harder to navigate the post breakup, but I just think that we have to be patient, because they are scared that Nicola and Luke are friends, and they probably, if they've talked about it, they probably have explored the fact that they don't want to lose their friendship. But personally, I think that they've already been they are on that road, and there's just some hurt that's happened, and they have to navigate through that hurt and figure it out. And if the hurt came from Luke to Nicola, then I feel like Luke has a big apology that he's going to have to give if he's not already given it. No, Hershey, you cannot be up here. She's not going to get my food. I know you want it, but she's not going to get it. She's just trying to get away from you. Lay down. Thank you. Yeah, an apology about A. Yeah, I think Nicola always speaks highly of Luke. I think when the Pap pictures released right after the part 2 premiere, I think that's where a lot of the hurt came from, and a lot of it was compounded by confusion over things that happened on the press tour. And I think that they've stayed in contact. I would say that my best guess is they've stayed in contact, but I also think that it's been, if that's the case, then it's been tense contact. He may give her a present. Maybe it was his shirt and his boxers. Desiree Michelle posted proof that she is wearing, indeed, men's boxers in that photo. So someone I was talking to, it's one of my friends, she mentioned that maybe it's a pair of boxers, maybe it's his t-shirt and boxers, and she got them from him while they were on the press tour together, like in Brazil, and she just never gave them back. He could have avoided a lot of drama by posting, he gave her the panini. The panini, or what was inside the panini? That's the real question, Carmen. Even if she told him not to address it, if he did something that hurt her, he still should give her an apology. That's just my take on it. Because if you go and hurt somebody, don't you want to apologize to him? Mm. You're right, he did wear the shirt in June. So maybe it was just the boxers. The Scrabble board is actually, it was in the pub. I looked up the pictures of the pub. People said it was. And there is the black heating element that's in the back part of that picture. That pub has those exact same heating elements and those coasters, and those coasters are custom. So that Scrabble board was at the pub. Could have been his Scrabble board, but it probably was a pub game, because if there's letters missing, it would be most likely a pub game. The bloopers, him being silent and then coming back with the bloopers. My take on it is, there was rumors he was in LA a couple weeks ago or a few weeks ago. I don't know how true those are, because rumors are rumors. But if he was in LA, he could have been at Shondaland headquarters, and Shonda probably could have, you know, gently reminded him that Nicola has been carrying a lot of the press for this season. And she basically maybe told him that he needed to do a little bit more promoting. But I also feel like when he saw the bloopers, he has a sense of humor. I feel like he has a very enjoyable sense of humor. Because if you watch all the interviews, he's also cracking jokes. And like, if you look back at old videos of him, he's constantly cracking jokes, and he loves pranks. So I think when he saw the blooper video, he was like, it brought up all the feels, and he was like, I want to share this, and he couldn't just pick one part to share. He wanted to share it all because he loved it all, because he loves his castmates. Who's going to carry the press for season 4? Well, that's true, because guess what? Luke Thompson doesn't have social media, so who's going to carry that press? I think you're right. I think he just loves his castmates, and he just loved the blooper reel, and he wanted to share it. But it's highly possible that Shondaland has already come down on him about his lack of press. Can you not hear me? Can everybody hear me? Let me turn up my... Can y'all hear me? Okay. I think you're the only one who can't hear. Okay. Oh. And maybe your sound that there's someone who can't hear me. Nash, maybe check your sound, make sure you're not hooked to a Bluetooth or something. Okay. I also sometimes talk quietly, so... And I don't realize I'm doing it. And I was also trying to eat, not where you guys could hear me, because as some people have misophonia. My 17-year-old does. She hates hearing me chew, so... I wonder if they're on a 91-day contract with press. Like, promoted as long as they're trying to get the numbers, the final numbers. Because if that's the case, then he hasn't really done his part on the contract. He also could be, and this is just my take, guys, and this is coming from the compassionate side for Luke, because a lot of people are hard on him. He may be quiet because every time he posts, people say mean things to him. Like, when Nicola shared that post about Bridgerton getting to number 6, and he said, wow. People were so mean in the comments. Like, why is he going to post if everybody's just going to be mean to him all the time? What's the point? You know, and it's like, he has his comments open on his stories. So, like, we don't get to see those comments that he's getting on his stories. So, like, if he posts a story, we don't know what kind of meanness he's getting. So, he's probably, being a highly sensitive person that he is, he probably doesn't want to post because he's probably tired of the meanness. And if people would just get their heads out of their rear ends and realize that that Luke owes them nothing. Luke owes us as a whole nothing. Then they would realize that their keyboard warrior over their passion for Bridgerton is actually really misplaced. Like, I feel like there's absolutely no reason why people should be coming down on this man for choosing to travel with his money that he's earned, and taking time off from the job he did. No, the only video I saw was that suspicious looking guy that looked maybe like him, but that nobody thinks is him because of the hair. And also, too, the face shape is slightly off. Like, it's not quite. And his ears are not elfy enough. Like, he's got little elf ears. It's cute. He didn't take her hand. She took his hand. That's another thing. Everybody's saying he was holding her hand. No. This is his hand. This was her hand. She's holding his hand. His hand was very relaxed. He was not grabbing her hand. She ran up. There is eyewitness accounts that says she ran up and grabbed his hand. His hand, it was this was hers. So, no, he did not take her hand. In fact, if you look at his eyebrows, if you pay attention to his face in those pictures, he is very angry in those pictures because there are vertical lines right here. And his eyebrows are kind of down. He is mad. I don't know why the fandom's so toxic about Luke. Like, Luke in and of himself, he's an endearing soul. Like, I mean, the poor guy, like, every time he talked during the press tour, he was so transparent that Nicola had to, like, take over half the time. And someone like that, they're just so endearing because, you know, you could get him in a room and he would open up and talk about anything and everything because he's just so genuinely trusting, and you can tell he's so, what's the word I'm looking for? He's trusting. I wouldn't say naive. He's not naive by any means because he knows what's a good shot for the press tour. Like, he even mentioned that a couple times. But he's just, what word am I looking for? Someone help me out here. He's endearing, he's genuine, he's transparent, he's kind. Oh no, he's not naive. He's not naive. That I corrected that. He is not naive. I don't think being trusting makes you naive. I think it makes you trusting. He's sincere. He's sincere. That's the word I wanted. He is sincere. And every bit of him is, he makes me want to big sister him. Like, I just want to tell him, I just want to sit down and, like, gently chide him and, like, just say, hey, okay, Luke, you know, this is why people are coming down so hard on you. I know it's hurtful. I know it's painful. But this is what you could do to fix it. But the thing that makes me angry is not a single soul on this planet has the right to come down on him the way they are. Like, who are you to come down on Luke? Like, who are you? Like, do you go on vacation? Okay, if you go on vacation after you've worked for months at a time, do you go on more than one vacation? Some people do. If you earn that money, isn't it your money to spend? Are his bills getting paid? is that any of our business? Is he living off of the system? Which I don't know if the UK has a system like we do in the US, but like if he is living off the system, if he was living off the system and not working and going on vacations, then we might have something to say. But the man works, and he also, what a lot of people don't realize is that with the modeling, and also with the lodge, if I'm not mistaken, and someone can correct me on this because I could be wrong, if there are royalties involved, like every time something is reshown, they get a certain amount of money. So he does get continuous royalties from things. So he has probably some passive income. So I would say that, you know, it's not just Bridgerton. It's not just Bridgerton that is supplying his funds. It's, you know, he also did the voiceover for the animated film coming out in the winter. He did, you know, has his modeling gigs. He partnered with GQ. Some people say that Lowe pulled their contract, but I don't know about that. I haven't seen anything solid from Lowe saying that they pulled their contract with Luke. But if they didn't pull their contract with Luke, then he's got the Lowe contract as well. So, like, he has contracts in place with people, like, and an answer on what, Julia? Lettuce wrap. People are so mad at him for traveling, for doing his, you know, for enjoying his time off. Like, people are mad at him. I think people, this is where I'm coming from on this one. I think people are mad. I think people are mad because Luke didn't seem to do anything about the paparazzi gate. And I think people are hurt and betrayed because we went through this press tour with them, watching their chemistry, watching what we felt was a fairy tale playing out in front of us, to suddenly being blindsided by his model dancer girlfriend, or situationship. I can't even call her a girlfriend. But so we got blindsided. So I think the people who are really hurt are the people who felt super invested, and they're curious as to why he's not saying anything. Well, as a sensitive person, when I know people are mad at me, I avoid the situation. So he knows people are mad at him, so he's avoiding the situation. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, when Nicola promoted, you know, it's Jamie says, I think people were mad as Nicola continued to promote when he did Papgate, then went silent. Okay, he didn't do Papgate. I am standing by this. I'm going to die on this hill. That was not him. That was not him. That was some desperate 23-year-old girl and her mother and her friends releasing their location so that she could ride the coattails of his success. And it backfired on her, it backfired on him, and if she really cared about him, if she truly, truly cared about him and wanted to be with him, she would never have done that to him. And that is just my opinion. And I honestly, I will stand by that. Because she was selfish, she was self-centered, and it has shown in every single post from here on out. That girl is selfish and self-centered and only out for number one, and that is her. She does not care about Luke. She only cares about getting her name out there, and I'm sure there is some pressure coming from her mother. Because her mom has invested in her dance career, and she's probably a trust fund baby, spending her days going on vacations, not doing much, and ending up in controversial dance situations. And her mom's probably like, get your act together, do something. So Antonia saw an opportunity with Luke to make her mother proud, and it backfired on her. And then how dare her mother like comments about Lukola and her body? I don't care who you are. It doesn't give you a right to sit there and downgrade someone who is a powerhouse like Lukola. Like, you could fat shame me, and you wouldn't have a right, because I still work. Just because I'm fat doesn't mean you get to fat shame me. You don't get to fat shame anybody. Like, I am very passionate about this, clearly. Her mother liked some fat shaming comments. And people were able to track it back to her mother's account. So, but it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was on the article that was shared that is no longer. That article disappeared after the fallback. And I think there was a comment that her mother liked on about people being delusional on Demois' page on Instagram. So, but the article that fat shamed Lukola has disappeared. That company took it down, but that was where the initial comments were that her mother liked. But was it I think it was Forbes. But yeah, I personally think that the Papgate was Antonia, her mother, or her friends. It was not Luke. And I don't think Luke knew they were going to be there. You can tell by his face. He was blindsided. He was shocked. He was stunned. He was like, what the frig is going on? I think even his team was a little blindsided and shocked because of the way they were trying to bodyguard him and usher him into the building. And I think, too, Antonia's face looked way too relaxed. And she was making too much eye contact with the photographers for her to have been shocked and appalled at their behavior. And that's the hill I'm going to die on. That this girl is selfish and self-centered, and she cares only about herself and her success. And she used Luke. And I think in many ways, even though Rory is Luke's longtime best friend, I think Rory and Sienna are also using Luke. Charmaine and Tom seem to be the only well-grounded people in that group, because Charmaine and Tom don't seem very invested in sharing information about Luke. They seem more invested in just enjoying themselves. Why is he still with her? Because he's a nice guy. She could be blackmailing him. She could be threatening to ruin Nick's career by calling her a homewrecker. She could have threatened to really pull attention off of Bridgerton. I feel like she's very manipulative, and I feel like she probably pulled a stunt that made him feel stuck. Oh no, she's manipulative. She plays off that she's dumb, but she's manipulative. A is not going to go away quietly. No. I think if you're gonna, Pacheco Hawk said this, and I agree with her. I think if you're going to be with someone for this amount of time and go on trips and stuff with them and socialize with them, that you do somewhat like being around them. So I think that in many ways Luke does maybe enjoy Antonia to a certain extent. Do I think he's romantically involved with her? I don't know. See, the question of the NDAs has come up last night, came up tonight. I did research it because someone said that in the industry it is off limits to have your significant other sign an NDA, which is not true. Raven Simone has her partner sign an NDA. There's another star mention, but it is becoming common practice for celebrities to have their partners or significant others or people they're involved with sign NDAs. So, do I think she signed an NDA? Personally, I'm going to say yes on that. But I don't know. It's just assumption. I can't say that facts or no. A and Rory. Some people are saying that A and Rory were involved based on some of the tarot card readings. And if that's the case, then I have a feeling that that's gonna be explosive in and of its own, like, whole network. That's not Nick's responsibility to heal his heart. Our mental health is no one else's responsibility but ours. And to be responsible to heal someone else's heart when they've been hurt, that's a heavy load to carry. I think she can walk with him in the healing process, but we are not responsible for someone else's trauma. And we are not responsible for being the medicine for that trauma. I think we can walk with the person and hold their hand and guide them to the right places to find the healing, but we can't carry that healing, because that's a load to carry that if you fail, then it could also it can compound on your own trauma. So everyone is responsible for their own healing. This romanticized idea that being in a relationship is supposed to heal you, that is a romanticized idea. That is part of the reason why we have a mental health crisis, because we walk into a relationship looking to someone else for our healing, when we should have walked into that relationship already working on our healing. And I think that that's part of the issue with the world today, is that we always are putting it on everybody else to fix what is broken inside of us, when we are responsible for our own brokenness. Has he ever been single? Is that what you're saying? Stand by your side, Colin. Hey, Steph. Nothing's going on. I just jumped on a live until I have to go get my kid from school and go to the grocery store. Someone asked me if I would go live today. Okay, has he ever been single? There was a time between Sophie and Jade that he was single. And then technically he's single now, because he said in March he was single. And he's not laid claim on A, so that makes him single. To be specific though, has he ever been in a position where he did not have someone that he was with, traveling with or sleeping with? Or I do think that there was a time period between Sophie and Jade, and there was a short time period between Jade and Antonia, but we don't know if something was going on with Nicola during that time frame. So I would say not though, because Nicola even put in the caption when she went to go see The Shape of Things, it said finally reunited. So I would suggest that he and Nicola were not involved at that point. I think that they were taking their intimacy coordinator's advice about spending some time apart after filming. What guy does stay single for long? Like, seriously. Like, I feel like every time, I feel like, number one, there is a shortage of men in the world. Because it's like, as soon as there's a single guy, has anyone ever noticed this? As soon as there is a single guy who has lots of redeeming qualities and is relatively good looking, it's like women swarm them like vultures. I feel like there is a major deficit of men in the world because of the way women swarm these single men like vultures. And I know, I can't wait to see Tiff's timeline. I'm so eager for it. I have a wedding Saturday, so I'm going to come in late on the timeline. So it is what it is. We snapped them up. Kat. Congratulations, Kat. I actually, I've decided that when there's a single guy that has a lot of redeeming qualities and I start seeing women swarm them like vultures, I'm just like, nope, I'm out. Not competing. Not me. I think she said she was rescheduling to Saturday, yes. You off them now? She has a poll on Instagram and people want one. Oh, so we don't know a specific time yet. Okay. See, I'm going back in some of the comments. I agree. Okay, I'm going to address these comments. It says, one says, is it Kumirova girl? Kumirova girl? I can't say your name right, and I'm so sorry. It says, I think he needs to take some time to himself and be free what he needs to do without baggage. I agree with that. If you're going to come out of a relationship, you need to be single for a while. Because number one, you figure out who you are. You figure out what makes you tick. You start to learn to love your own company. And then you realize you don't actually need to be in a relationship. You just want to be in one. And then Audrey says, not sure about A&R. He seems to be really in love with S, but A&R like to make fun of L's fans 100%. A&R seemed to be very much into mocking the fandom, which could give them that connection. Hatred has a way of bonding people. And then if you've ever noticed, when Antonia's filming videos, R always looks right at her. R always looks right at her and feeds on it. So I don't care if that user says that Luke and Antonia's relationship is serious and that they're talking about engagement. That is not, no. No. If it's serious and they're talking about engagement, then Luke does not know what real love is, and he's going to end up settling just like Justin did with Haley. Did I say that out loud? Yes, I did. I'm so sorry. No, because I haven't delved much into Jack. It is a serious situation. Maybe she'll get a promise ring. I promise to be your friend with benefits for a little bit longer. I haven't delved much into exactly, Felicia, if he, and let me preface this by saying some people are on his private Instagram, okay? He's not even posted her on his private. And if he is truly serious about her, why can't she post him on hers? Because Jade was allowed to post things about him. Sophie was allowed to post things about him. And Jade and Luke were not even near settling down and getting married. Like, they were together. But they each, if I'm not mistaken, even Jade said that when she was doing the video of his flat, that it was for him, which means, and that was his space, which means it was his flat and she had her own. So they weren't even living together. There's been a couple people that I know that have messaged me that are on his private, but I'm not on his private. I can't even find his private. I tried. I guess I need to hone my FBI skills a little bit better. Thank you, Steph. There is literally, he was crazy about Jade. Like 100% head over heels about Jade. And let me tell you, there is a definite, this body language stuff that I've been studying, as I'm delving deeper, like, you can see so much, like, in the way he is with her. And good intel, keep them safe. Oh, they did move in together. No? Luke and Jade didn't move in together in December of 2023. They weren't even, no. He and Jade were done before December of 2023. Way before. It was announced in March of 2023 they were done. And the speculation is that if you mean December of 2021, then maybe, yeah. Because filming for Bridgerton was going on in 2022 for season 3, and they were apart before they even hit the intimacy scenes of December of 2022. Because rumor has it that they ended before the intimacy scenes, and those were filmed mid-December of 2022. So no, they were not. They moved in together December 2019. Okay. So then, why did she say in that video that it was for him and that was his flat, his main dressing area? Oh, he still hurts about it. There's rumors that she cheated on him. And when I was watching, watching season 3, when the lady whistled down reveal, his voice catches on all the lies you've told. That's where his voice catches. And that, when his voice caught on that and he was crying and he was having to choke the line out, I am absolutely certain that his tears came from his recent breakup. Oh, I see. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying on the housing situation. But I do think that was his tears during the Lady Whistledown reveal and some of the lines, I think it hit hard because it hit home. And it really hit a raw place inside of him. And I think he is still hurting because I think when it all happened during filming, he didn't get a chance to truly, truly, truly process it all because he was working. Yeah, those were real tears. He said he was overwhelmed. He didn't dive into why he was overwhelmed. He didn't dive into what was going on. But when you watch that scene, you know it's coming from a very real, raw place. And I wonder if he just didn't get to have a chance to really process his grief with Jade because he was in the middle of working. Yes, Nick was really worried about him in that scene. You can see it in her eyes. And she said even watching him cry, like it hurt her to watch him hurt. And so that's why she started crying. Like they were both, I think, and I have to say that coming from a standpoint of someone you work with, when you watch them go through something hard, but you watch them not really process it, and then you watch it hit them all at once, it can hit you hard too, because you're watching this huge grief play out and you feel for them because yeah. I missed something Kat said. I'm trying to find it. Kat, were you talking about the cheating rumors? Is that what you were talking about? I think we're all a little crazy. You wanna know what I did last night? I took the picture of Luke in his t-shirt, cleaned it up as much as I could, trying to find that stain that's on the one that Nick's wearing, because I'm convinced I see it. And I was like driving myself nuts, like trying to do the exact measurements of where it would be. I was like, I've gone off the deep end, guys. Nick and Luke are very smart people, and Nick is very social media savvy. She knows exactly what she's doing, and it's gonna have me verify myself. Wait, I am active. What are you talking about? Yes, they're much smarter than we give them credit for. And their waiting is definitely... No, stop. Their waiting is definitely wisdom. See, this is my thing. With as crazy as he was about Jade, and how long they were together, and there was like literally like no movement towards an engagement, why in the world would he get engaged to Antonia when he has not even publicly claimed her, and he looks like he's just teaching a child to swim in those photos? How is that engagement worthy? Unless it's some sort of like arranged marriage, which I don't think that happens anymore, unless in Greece it happens. Oh no, I'm convinced Luke took the picture, because in the sunglasses where people have cleaned it up, I tried cleaning it up and I can see what people are seeing now. The person who's taking the picture is clearly holding Nick's phone. I was able to clean it up enough to see that it is Nick's phone. It's not someone else's phone. And the reason why I can tell it's Nick's phone is because I can see enough of the phone case to see that it's Nick's phone, because of the way her phone case is made. But the person is holding the phone like this with their left hand, leaning on one arm, and it looks like they have one leg tucked under and one knee over. And the one knee over is kind of leaning down like this. The person is definitely wearing a black tank top. Based on the jawline I've seen in other cleaned up photos, it is a very distinct jawline. And when I cleaned up her sunglasses, yes, left hand. That should be telling all on its own, right? There is something shiny on this wrist, which is the same wrist that he wears his bracelet on. In my picture that I cleaned up and in the ones I've seen, there's something shiny in that general area. He gets engaged to his friends with benefit to keep his lifeguard job. Anyway, when I cleaned up Nick's sunglasses, I found a third person. It's on her, if you're looking at her lenses, it would be her left lens, but for us it's the right side. They're in this corner right here. So when I cleaned it up, there is a third person there. Don't know who it is. Someone maybe suggested Camilla, one of my friends did. I think it was taken this weekend. I think she had the weekend off from filming, because the filming does go all the way through September for Magic Faraway Tree. Then she's going to go from one filming to another. But some people say that they've already met for preseason script reads. Jamie says it matches with the weather we had in London. And that blanket, everybody's saying it's Jake Dunn's blanket. I think it's Nicola's blanket. I think that she just used it when she and Jake Dunn had that picnic and played Scrabble. And because from what I understand, from what people have said, that is Nicola's yard. Those who know where she lives and what kind of yard she has, that's some stellar skills right there, because I would assume she has her information private. But if it was, I think it was taken this weekend. I think based on Scrabblegate plus the shirt that she had a down weekend, and if it was him, then he was there. There were 2 drinks at the table at the pub they were drinking. One was definitely drinking Guinness, and one okay, people have matched her house from the housewarming party. Y'all are like, some of y'all do a whole lot more research than I do. I'm more into their body language and like look, I like looking at the body language, but like the location stuff, like I guess for me it's just like, I don't know. Because I run a photography business, my address for my business is my personal address, which is very unwise of me, I know. I need a P.O. box. And I get antsy because I worry, because like some girl last year got mad at my daughter and doxed us. Like she gave out my address to people because she got mad at my daughter. And I'm like, and I know all you have to do is research me and just a little bit and you're going to find my address. And it made me angry that this teenage girl thought it was her right to hand out my address. And I'm like, and I guess like when it comes down to locations, like I feel like knowing where someone's going and what they're doing kind of takes away their freedom. But yes, that's what I'm trying to say in a nice way, because I try to lead with kindness and love. People's locations, that's a little invasive. Like, they should be allowed to go out like we do and have fun and do things, because they are still human beings. They just act. That's just their job. They're just working. And do we get to know them a little bit better than we would like every other person? Yes, because they are in the public eye. That's what they're doing. They're in the public eye, and they willingly put themselves in the public eye. We know this. But everybody has a right to privacy. And yes, I think it doesn't help that Nick put up pictures of her housewarming party on her social media. Like, if you don't want people to know where you live, don't put that stuff up there. He did. He actually, someone told me that the Home Plus photo shoot was, oh my goodness, was actually in her city, yes, but it was at a park in London, in her city. It's actually an actual park. So, I don't know who I saw. I just know there's a third person there. It's in the corner of the lens. There is an actual figure there. So I don't know who I saw, but there is another person standing there. Could be a ghost. Could be their guardian angel. And then the other one in the middle, yeah, in the middle of the lens. There was 3 people, it looks like. Nicola, the person who took the picture, and then the person off to the side of the lens. They both live in London. Nicola even said in the cab interview that she lives in East. Luke lives in West End, which is more central London. And then they film in West London. So, I mean, they are giving out their locations to a certain extent. But I don't know. Like, the deep dive into which pub they were at. Like, I don't think I ever would have gone that deep. But people who lived in London knew which pub they were at because of the coasters. Because the coasters were... I don't think it was A. Can you imagine them in the same room, Nick and A? Gosh. I mean, I know they were once in the same room, but... How long have I been within the fandom? This year, actually. It started right after the release of part 1. So the backstory, and those who've been in my lives before have heard this brief backstory. The release of this Bridgerton season came when I was actually seeing a guy who had made me his side chick, and he actually had a girlfriend of 2.5 years, but I didn't know that. I met him in April. Early May we became exclusive, but he wouldn't put me on social media, and I started feeling a bunch of red flags, especially with the social media thing. So there was a couple things he did. He posted a picture of his garden in a backyard, but it was not his backyard or his parents' backyard, and some random woman had liked one of his posts, so I decided to pull up her stuff, like, you know, a good FBI agent, me talking about locations. Sorry, that was a little hypocritical of me, obviously. And I found out that it was her backyard. And long story short, that she'd been his girlfriend for 2.5 years. He just wouldn't put her on social media either. So she wouldn't, and he wouldn't allow her to put him on social media. So during all of that, this became my escape. And because I had gone for many, many years of being single, and I thought I was finally getting my fairy tale. And I was watching part 1, and I started thinking, wow, what is different about this season with Colin and Penelope? And I started watching all the press tours, and I was like, the very first press tour interview I was like, wait, are they together? And then it turned into a whole deep dive. So, and I've become so obsessive with this. This is so different for me because I never fangirl, ever. Like, I think the last time I fangirled over anything was Jonathan Taylor Thomas when I was a kid. I think it was... So you off men too? Yes, Kat, I do. Oh my gosh, your cousin? Lord, that's so dirty. What is wrong with men? What is wrong with men? I've never shipped anyone ever. Like, even like during the Tom Dea, you know, like it wasn't like anything I cared about. Like, people talked about it. I didn't care about it. I did not care about it. I was like, whatever. You know, cool. They might be together, they might not. I saw a few of their interviews, and I was like, and then, because Zendaya, you know, she was in The Greatest Showman, and then my kids really love the superhero movies and all that, and all of, yeah. So, and then I think, but like, I just never care if actors and actresses are together. Like, I think it was like a couple years ago that I actually knew that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds were together. That's how bad I'm out of the loop. I get People Magazine in my email every week. And guess who doesn't read People Magazine? I just get it because I was helping one of my friend's kids with a fundraiser with school. And it comes in my email. And I never read it. So that's literally how I am. So all of a sudden, I'm like in this place of, what is wrong with me? I've gone off the deep end. Why do I care so much about two people who live in London, England? Like, guys, this is how bad it is. I even brought up the website Backstage because I was curious about working in the industry. Because I want to be that fly on the wall. I don't necessarily want to be an actress or an actor or actress or be on the front lines. I would love to be a behind the scenes photographer or videographer like Ryan Wheeler. I would love that. But like, why am I like this now? Why do I suddenly feel like at 42 I need to change my whole life, up in myself, and move somewhere where I can be on the behind the scenes of movie sets? Because I want to be a fly on the wall. I want to be in the know like that cast is on Bridgerton. Because they know. Golda knows. Adwa knows. Ruth Gemmell knows. Jonathan Bailey knows. Luke Thompson knows. Claudia Jessie knows. They all know. They know something we don't know. And I want to be that person who knows. Golda definitely knows. She loves Nicola too. You can tell. Nicola's her girl. Ryan Wheeler knows some things because when you're behind the scenes, like me as a videographer / photographer, well, I do mostly photography. I do toy and videography, but mostly photography. Like when I'm at weddings, and even just regular sessions, I hear stuff. Like, I get the tea. And it's like, when I'm at weddings, I get the real tea. And I haven't been the same person. Since, I guess we'll say, well, since late April when I met this guy. And some of the people in here know his name. Well, his nickname is Buzz. Like Buzz Lightyear, yes. Definitely not to infinity and beyond. That's where I'd like to send him sometimes, but because of what he did. But anyway, I have never cared this much, but I see a real life fairy tale in front of me with these two, and that's all I want is to see it. I wanted to see the happily ever after. I want to see the real. I want to know what Golda knows. Oh, the hard stare. Luke's face when he realized she was dead staring him. Like, that was a death stare. His face, like, he got shook. And I think it boils down, and I'm going to say this, and there are people in the fandom who don't like talking about Antonia and all that, but I think that this is a huge play in what's going on. And if we ignore her existence, we can't really come down to the truth of the matter, because she does exist, and she's part of the big mess. And I think it was exactly what was going on with Antonia. I think that was the fact that Antonia was at the London premiere. I think that they all knew she was there, and I think that even Nicola was blindsided a little bit by that. And season 2, going back to the way Luke looked at Nick while they were playing Colin and Penelope in season 2, that's what Jade caught on to And I think that's where a lot of the dissatisfaction in the relationship came from. No, nothing's come out with Luke and A today. I just went live because some people asked me to go live. And I don't have to leave for another 30 minutes. I'm going to go grocery shopping and pick up my youngest. My oldest has my oldest is at college, but my middle has a color guard practice today. You know, that's something, yeah, I never picked up on, I didn't think about Sam looking mad, but they have grown. They have. People are in, okay, and I might cry a little bit, and I'm going to try not to, but I actually teared up today and last night. I didn't think I had any value to add to this subject because I haven't been in the fandom very long. And I'm usually a quiet observer. And I'm really usually I struggle with my own self-confidence in speaking up, and last night some of the comments that were being made were just so encouraging, and so it's actually become very rewarding to open up and talk and give my insight. And like I said, my insight is just what it is. It's ignore my dogs. Ignore them. I don't know anything about I think someone's here, but hopefully not. I'm not an expert. I'm not a professional. I'm not, but I do, with my job of photography, like I have to observe people. Like, it's a constant observation, especially when you're at weddings. Oh my goodness, hold on. Dogs! Mocha! Cara! Okay. Sorry guys. If it's really loud, I'm so sorry. Thank you. I gotta see who's here, because I think there's someone here. And if there is someone here, they're creating havoc. Oh, it's UPS. Whoa, I almost fell. Nobody saw that. That's what it was. UPS was making a delivery. They saw a squirrel. No, actually, usually that's the reaction when they see a cat in our front yard. We have a lot of stray cats. My neighbor across the street, she will not stop feeding the stray cats. And so, oh, thank you. Thank you guys. But yeah, I'm not an expert by any means. I am just, like I said, an observer, a quiet observer. And with my job in photography, that's one thing. Body language is one thing that I study, because body language, this is what I tell my clients. If you've ever had a photo shoot with me, you've heard this from me. At every photo shoot, I say body language speaks volumes. So, and one thing I do, I am open to knowing everybody. So if you message me, I'm going to message you back. And I am a friendly person. I'm open to always talking to everybody. If I'm quiet for a while, if I don't respond quickly, it's just because I'm working. But one of the things that I pinpoint on my clients, especially men, is if their feet are turned away from the person they're with. And I tell them, I'm like, if you have your feet turned away from somebody, it indicates you don't like them. And I also prefer there not to be gaps in my photos between people, because I'm like, that indicates you don't want to be next to them. And, well, while I'm in the live, I can't accept any requests, because then I have to leave the live. So at some point I will be in my messages, but I'm still learning how to do all the live stuff. But yeah, so I'm happy that you guys, it's very humbling to have people want to engage with you and talk to you and get to know you and hear what you have to say. Yes, I love that. I love that I am blown away by people I've met. Like, I have one person that I talk to that's from South Africa. That's so cool. I have one person I talk to right now from Canada. To me, we've gone international, guys. It's so cool. Like, I just want to hop in a plane and travel the world and meet everybody. Her personal space is his personal space. That is so true. Panama, that's so cool. So earlier today, someone was in here from Spain talking, and someone was in here from Chile talking, and it's like, and you're in Australia. This is just, to me, South Africa living in Abu Dhabi, Mexico City. Listen, if I can learn to speak better Spanish, I might start trying to translate into Spanish for people. Lithuania, Germany, Netherlands. Oh, speaking of the Netherlands, when I worked at the hotel, so we had a guest check in from the Netherlands, okay? And they were, I was cracking them up. I was messing, we were joking around back and forth, and I guess they really enjoyed me because they came down and brought me genuine Dutch stroopwafels. Like, here in America, you can't get those. And, oh, it was just such a cool experience. And then we had someone check in from, was it Austria? Or was it? I think so, yeah, someone. But Ireland. Guys, this is so cool. We're all international. Korea sounds like a fun place to go too. Hungary. Greece, Peru, Indonesia, boring Maryland. Just East Tennessee right here. Brazil. All supporting Mr. Worldwide. That's right. Luke Newton is Mr. Worldwide, and we support him. Just New York. Are you kidding me? New York is like, I want to take my kids to see New York City. I've only been one time. I lived in Connecticut for 8 years, literally 2 hours from New York City, okay? I literally lived just 2 hours from New York City. Never went when I lived in Connecticut. And after I moved here to Tennessee, I went to New York City. I only got to go for 2 days. It was not enough. I want to go again. I actually fell in love with New Hampshire this summer. Turkey. Indiana. Why are we frowning about being in the U.S., guys? Come on. Scotland. Oh, my goodness. Brazil is our Roman Empire. That is right. That is right. That is Seoul, Korea. That's so cool. Sitting in NYC. See, I love the hustle and bustle of NYC. When I was a teenager, I was absolutely convinced I was going to be the CEO of a Fortune 500 company living in a New York City penthouse that was all white. And now I live in East Tennessee in a house that's blue. Definitely not a penthouse. I am not the CEO of a Fortune 500. And in fact, my company is probably Fortune 50 cents. But, yeah. Oregon. I've been to Oregon. I have a friend that lives in the Pacific Northwest. And I actually flew into Portland for one trip, and then I flew into Seattle for the other. Serbia. Seattle. Did you guys know that if you order from a bookstore in Seattle, if you order Julia Quinn books from a bookstore in Seattle, she'll sign them for you? Did you guys know that? I've been to San Diego. I've been to the Bahamas. Does that count? I went on a cruise with some friends. 5 minutes near seaside town. Okay, but I would love to live in a seaside town near the Irish Sea. Oh, speaking of Ireland, guess what I got today, guys? I got the bell brush from the business in Galway. I was so excited. I want to go to Ireland and Scotland because we have ancestry that's Scots-Irish. And my mom has all of our clan information, but we were part of the Irish that were pushed down into the, I think, the Highlands of Scotland. We were, or maybe the Lowlands. I know we were pushed down into Scotland. They did do a really sweet post about Nicola, the bell brush. And I'm following her because, like, she's put out a new brush that I won't be able to afford all these brushes, especially. It's a bookstore in Seattle. I've got a message. I'll ask and I'll post about it. But apparently, there's a book. If you order from a bookstore in Seattle, Julia Quinn will sign your book if it's one of hers. I didn't know she lived in Seattle. Terry. So, Collie, do you watch Derry Girls because of your childhood best friend's dad growing up in Derry? Or does your childhood best friend watch Derry Girls? If you guys want to vote on when you want Tiff to go live, go to her Instagram. It's tiffany.red_. It's TIFAINE.RED_. I feel like we should just make an international tour. I feel like we should all go on a tour of everywhere they went on their press tour and stand where they stood. You want to know what I love about these lives is watching people talk to each other and get to know each other, because it's so endearing to see how we're all becoming friends. I want to have tea with them too. Like, I want to sit down and just like, I actually want to go to London and hopefully run into Luke at his favorite coffee shop, because I love coffee. Hello. How are you? Yeah, it's at that bookstore in Seattle, right, Drupa? I don't know which bookstore it is. Let's plan the trip. Yeah, let's plan to go everywhere they went on their press tour. You know what? Let's just plan to go to London. And, like, you know, since we're so invasive as a fandom, we should just go to London and see if we can find where they're at. Not much. We're just talking about, we were just talking about Luke Newton and Nicola Coughlan and, things, rumors spreading around, wondering when the next shoe is going to drop, because we all feel this, like, it's going to happen. The rumor has not been confirmed, so nobody knows for sure. And it is, I think, driving the fandom crazy as a whole. But we do feel like there is something about to drop as a whole. And London is the first place we need to plan 100%. We need to plan to go to the West End, because we need to be near Luke's favorite coffee shop. So maybe, like, he'll pop in and we'll be like, hey, what's up, Lukey Newts? London, Ireland, and Brazil. Yes. Yes. Just take the tour. What's the rumor? The rumor is that Luke and Antonia broke up. That's the rumor. But we don't know, or split. See, how can you even say that if they've not been, like, actually, like, confirmed that they're together? How can you even say they broke up or they split? They stopped texting each other and stopped hooking up. You know that. Ooh. Julia, do you live, like, in that district, or are you just familiar with it because you're there a lot? Yes, we could, like, plan a Bridgerton luncheon and see if we could get them to come in secretly as guest stars. That would be fun. There's actually, okay, so I saved this. There's actually a company that hosts a ball in London. Is it in London? I know it's in England. And I saved it in one of my favorites. It wouldn't be a breakup. The situation just isn't. Exactly. I do have to get off here in 15 minutes, guys, just so you know, because I have to go pick up my kid. My kid has importance, too. As much as we love talking about Luke and Nicola. Yes, London, Ireland, Scotland, and the English countryside in Wales. See, most of my ancestors on my dad's side come from Wales. We're Welsh. My dad has been able to track it back. I am a distant relative to Princess Diana. I don't know how many cousins, how many removed, but I am in Princess Diana's family line. A USA Bridgerton gathering, yes, because not all of us can afford to go overseas. This is fair. We should definitely do that. We should plan like a Bridgerton conference here in the U.S. Oh yeah, Luke and Nicola have some serious feelings there. You know what? If they ever get married and they allow the public to come to their wedding, I would be there. I would 100% be there. I've lived in 5 states. I lived in Alabama, Louisiana, Georgia, Connecticut, and here. Ed could sing Galway Girl at their wedding reception, yes. Their first dance song should be True Colors. Netflix should do like a live broadcast of their wedding, or just like air their wedding. Yes, Netflix should do it. Nick and Luke are family. They just don't know it. They don't know that they're our extended family. Nick's too private for that. I think in this case, I would say that even if she is very private, she might allow the wedding ceremony to be filmed, but not the reception. Like, she'd want some privacy. Shonda produced her wedding with Ryan. Or the videographer. Ryan does more videography than photography. All of the stills he has are from, like, videos he's done. Yes, I think more people would... anyone to know something, their wedding would be a worldwide phenomenon. If they get married, it would be worldwide. I should offer my services. Don't know if they would take it. People have tagged Nicola Coughlin in some of my posts, and I'm like, you guys, she would not worry about little old me from East Tennessee. Like, she would not care about me. Like, I don't think she would even, like, I don't think she's even seen any of my stuff. They would have a secret wedding. Oh yeah, they'd probably secretly elope just because they know the fandom would go nuts. And then People would, magazine would be, they'd get the exclusive. No, or In Style would get the, no. Not In Style. Allure should get the exclusive. Because she would wear, like, the most stylish wedding gown. Bizarre, yeah. Oh, that would be nice. Like them leaving from their wedding to go to their reception to get a pat pic. Yes. We're already planning the wedding. Yeah. Dumois exclusive. No, Dumois needs to just go away. She just needs to stay far, far, far away from them. What is, okay, this is a theory I have. What if Dumois, like, we know that the actual person that does, like, the Dumois podcast is not Antonia. But what if Antonia is on the Dumois staff? That's just my take. Like, what if she's on the Dumois staff? I don't feel delusional about this at all. I feel like Nick and Luke are going to get married, and it's going to be the best day ever. They are inevitable. Nick and Luke are going to get married, and it's going to be the best day ever. They are inevitable. We're off the deep end? No, we're just observing, because you cannot tell millions of people that they're crazy. If we're all seeing it, we're not crazy. They are in game. I bet the mountains in Ireland are gorgeous. We have mountains here in in like Gatlinburg. You know, like you can go into the Smoky Mountain National Park and see beautiful mountain views, and then actually coming into my neighborhood, we have a perfect view of the mountains. But I don't know if it's, I like the ocean. I like the sea. They do, Felicia, you are correct. They just need to come to terms that they are just friends, that they aren't just friends, that they are truly in love with each other. They've created, what they gave us was not PR. It was genuine real life love. And millions of people can't be that crazy. Like, we just can't be. Ooh. Christina, I'm coming to see you. I love the ocean. I want to see the Rocky Mountains. I also want to go to Montana. I want to go to Colorado and Montana. I want to visit Panama. I know this is a really random thing to want to see, but I do want to see, like, the Panama Canal. I want to go to Italy, to the one town that what's the town in Italy where the water just runs through it all? In North Kakalaki, we have the mountains and the beach. How can you go wrong with that, Wombat? Venice, thank you. Okay, you guys know how Luke touches his lips. Do you guys notice what I'm doing right now? That's an ADHD stim. But I do think he does it whenever he's looking at Nicola to calm himself down because he's so into her. Italy is definitely on my top. Canada, Italy, New York City. I want to take my kids to see New York City because it's just, I've been there only one time, but I just think it's amazing. Yeah, he does. He says that touching your ear is a sign of lying. But he's a fidgeter. If you ever notice, he fidgets with his belt a lot. He's always adjusting his belt on the left side. Always on the left side. He never adjusted on the right side. It's always the left side. He looked, yes, that's the key. So like I said, I've been delving deep into some body language stuff, right? And I noticed that, so in one of the body language experts, he talks about the fact that you can't just take certain things, like the way someone's body's positioned or their face. You have to go from feet up. Like, you have to take into account every single part of their body. So, like, foot positioning, like, for instance, let's talk about real quick. I have 7 minutes. I'm promising myself I'm going to leave on time because if you were part of my first live, it went for hours. And, hi, Michelle. It's been going good. My last live, I cut off really quick because there's a funny story behind that, but, I put my client down for the wrong time on my calendar. I hit the 6 instead of the 5, and they were like, it was at 5 o'clock, and then they were like, we're almost there, and I'm like, oops. Yeah, so I had to, like, jump off real quick and rush to go meet them. They were fine with it, though, because it cooled off a little bit. But anyway, back to the body language. So let's talk about the Luke and Antonia photos from the GQ event. And so one of the things that you have to take into account from head to toe or from toe to head with body language. So, like, if someone they might be smiling politely and have their arm around someone, but if their feet are positioned away from the person, that means they want to make an exit. If their body's kind of leaning away, that means they want to make an exit. So, like, if you take into account the full body shots of Luke and Antonia, his feet are positioned away from her, his body is leaning away from her, and he has a polite smile on his face. Save the live? I will save it. Should I repost it? I could repost it. Can I repost it, like, on YouTube or something? Or can I... How do I do that? I'm gonna have to figure out all this stuff. Okay. He does. And actually, Beautiful Fairy, I noticed that. He always crosses his legs away from Nicola. But he's left-handed. So typically, you cross your legs from the position of your dominant side. He's left side dominant. So he's going to cross his left leg because that's his dominant side. But, yeah. Okay, so that's what I'll do. I'll start saving my lives. I'll download them and put them on YouTube. I'll create a YouTube channel just for y'all. I have a YouTube channel for my business, but I'm trying to, like, figure out how to separate my business from all this. Because I do have, like, surprise proposal videos that I've shot that I want to share, but I don't want to blend the fandom with my business. And I also don't want to, I also have videos of the Eisenhower aircraft carrier coming home from deployment. Yes. So, like, I'm right-handed, so I naturally cross my right leg over my left. I think because when you're, whatever side you're dominant is typically how you're going to cross your legs. I didn't like the way he jerked his hand away from her in Italy. The way he pulled away from her when she proposed to him, and he was laughing and everything. It was super, like, there was more there. Like, he pulled his hand away from her, but he was saying yes at the same time. So it was very, very mixed signals. Yeah, I need to create a business, like a TikTok and a YouTube and an Instagram just for my business, just for my personal. He did say yes, but according to body language, you can be super polite while having body language that speaks something different. He doesn't like marriage. Well, if he was with Jade for 4 years and they were in their late 20s, I mean, that should say something. It was right after all of the couples proposed to each other in Italy, she reached over and she goes, "Luke, will you marry me?" And he goes, "Yes," but she touched his hand, and as soon as he said yes, he pulled his hand away like that. It is a man thing. Men are scared of commitment. They don't want to commit. Oh, and they were fighting in Italy. They were 100% fighting in Italy. I still, like, the whole, like, deep dive I want to do, he was awkward. He's a product of divorce. That's right. He does have a stepdad. You are correct. You know, that's probably a lot of what's going on with Luke, is watching his mother, who he's close to, go through a divorce and all of that, and get remarried, and wondering, oh, they were fighting in Italy. The tension's there. Some people say they can't see it, but there's a lot of people who see it. It is there. They were fighting. He does have inner child. He does remind me of a young boy. Like, he reminds me of a little boy in a grown man's body. Y'all want to hear some irony, though? Like, I can't get past this, and I'm trying. So the guy that I was seeing back in May, who had the girlfriend of 2.5 years, even though he's a lot older than Luke, do you want to know what his birthday is? February 5th, which is Luke's birthday. Yes, when the people started proposing, he reached out and just barely touched her leg, and then she reached out and touched his. So he went from being not clean shaven to clean shaven. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she was calling him out on some mixed messages. She was 100% calling him out on mixed messages. Yes, that's what I actually noticed, like, someone reposted her with her accents in some videos recently. And I was like, he wanted to be mad at her, but as soon as she does her accents, like, that is, like, one of his, like, kryptonites right there. As soon as she does her accents, it's hilarious. I think a lot of the stuff they were fighting over, if this is correct, someone sent me a picture and it looks like Antonio was in Italy. Antonio took a selfie, and the background looks very much like where they were doing the Italy promotion. So it could have been Antonia. It could have been they were fighting over their feelings and mixed messages, and Nicola wanted a straight answer from him. There are some people too that say that Nicola, it's 4 o'clock. Let me just say this, okay? And then I will have to go, because I do need to go to the grocery store, because I'm trying to fix dinner tonight. I'm actually trying to cook, which I don't like to do. And I need ingredients. I need to share that photo. I've said I've got it, and I hate evasive content creators. But I really do need to go and find proof that the background is similar. Because they sent me proof. I may have to ask her to resend it, but for some reason I can't pull up the images that look like the proof. But yeah, so something. I think some people say that Nicola is not intentional, that she just does stuff for fun. She's intentional, and I will stand by that too. I will die on that hill too. That is another hill I'll happily die on. Nicola is one of the most intentional social media posters I've ever seen. She has a message in everything she posts. And if people don't believe that, then they don't understand who they're following. A lot of people don't realize that she is I think people really need to go back and watch a lot of her interviews and read a lot of her the articles where she's been interviewed and hear what she's saying. Like, don't be afraid to deep dive. Like, I call myself a scuba diver now. Initially, I was just a snorkeler, and now I'm deep diving. Because she knew everybody would obsess over that Polaroid, and they did. She was like, wait a second, this Polaroid, I gotta hide it. People are gonna obsess over it. And she didn't want them to be distracted by the Polaroid and lose the sense that she was just out having fun with her friends. She knew that there was gonna be screenshots. She knew. People are quick. Like, they see something and they screenshot it. Huh? The one of Antonia. Antonia posted something that looked like she was in Italy. The background looked like she was in the same location as the Bridgerton, Italy stuff. And I have a copy of the photo, and I have promised the person who sent it to keep them anonymous because she's worried that the fandom will come for her. And she sent me copies of, like, photos of the background itself that look similar, but for some reason I can't pull them up. So now I'm trying to find that. I need to get her to resend them. That's what I need to do. But yeah, so it is a pattern. It is a pattern. She posts then deletes because she thinks that she knows we're paying attention. She likes to create a stir. She likes to ride the coattails of his success, and she knows Luke's not active enough on social media, so she posts it long enough to get the fandom to look, but then she deletes it before Luke can see. So, okay, it is 4:04, and I said I was getting off here at 4. So for those of you who just joined, I'm sorry. I will save the live, and hopefully be able. I will start uploading my lives on YouTube so that people can. I'll create a YouTube page, and hopefully. When did the live start? It started at like 2:15. But I'm gonna go live again this week. Thursday, I don't have to substitute. So I will be live. I will tell you guys, I will be live on Thursday, and I will set a time. I will go live at 1 p.m. on Thursday. And that'll be Eastern Standard Time. So, and if you guys need a reminder, you can message me. But I'm going to wish me luck because I'm cooking dinner tonight, and that's not my gift. So, but thank you guys for joining. And I will talk to all of you later. Bye.